S23, the Preface. This is called the Preface because it comes before the Eucharistic prayer. So it's a preface to the Eucharistic prayer. The Eucharistic prayer is what the priest prays while everyone is kneeling. And this begins in a familiar way, right? The Lord be with you and with your spirit. Lift up your hearts. We lift them up to the Lord. Let us give thanks to the Lord our God. It is right and just. That's the first part of the preface. There's 4 parts, you could say, 4 sections. That's the first one. The second one is this. It's always the same words. It is truly right and just, our duty and our salvation, always and everywhere to give you thanks, Lord, Holy Father, Almighty and eternal God, through Christ our Lord. It's worth noting what the priest just said. It is truly right and just, our duty and our salvation, always and everywhere to give you thanks. You could write a book on that one line. To give God thanks is right and just, so those are kind of synonyms, but duty and salvation are not necessarily synonyms. So it's just to give God thanks, and it's our duty to do that. It's our duty to thank God in this way. And not only is it our duty, not only is it something that we justly owe to God, right? That's a duty, something that we justly owe somebody. It's also the means of our salvation. Giving God this act of thanksgiving, which is, of course, what the word Eucharist means, right? Eucharist means thanksgiving. So the whole Mass is this act of thanksgiving to God. And right here in the prayers of the Mass, we say every day, we have this reminder that it is right and just, our duty and our salvation to do that. So giving thanks to God is not an option if we're going to believe in Him. It's not an option whether or not we give thanks to God. If we want to be in heaven, we have to give thanks to God. That's literally what this prayer says. So it's worth thanking God. Then there's a section that says something really beautiful that I'm not going to read, and it depends on what comes next depends on the time of year that we're in. So this is another proper prayer. It depends, what we say here depends on the time of year in which we are in liturgically. It's a really fruitful exercise to look at the prefaces of the Mass, because they oftentimes give us a powerful glimpse or explanation, and a condensed explanation, like in a really powerful and condensed form, about the mystery that we're celebrating. The last part goes something along the lines of, and so with angels and archangels, with thrones and dominions, and then it goes into the Sanctus. So it unites this prayer that we're making as the people of God with the prayer and with the song of the angels of the heavenly hosts as we sing the Sanctus, which we'll talk about next week. See ya.